There's a lot of people now who were way too young to remember Decimal Day 50 years ago. But, and I know a lot of the people looking at this video will be just that little bit too young to remember February the 15th, 1971. But, like all good occasions, it's being commemorated by the Royal Mint with a range of coins, and I remember Decimal Day. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I remember when I was only a young kid, my dad coming through the door giving us these little wallets in 1968 with all the new exciting decimal coins that were going to come out just a few years later.
Anyone tell me what's going to happen in February next year? Something very, very important. Alicia?
Miss, they're going to let the decimal money come out.
Yes, let the decimal money come out. What's the decimal money? Christopher?
Well, all the old coins will be either burnt or melted.
I think they'll be melted, isn't it? Burn them.
And all the new decimal coins will be put into currency and they'll be used.
They'll be in use.
Children are now taught in school to think and work in decimal coins. One of the main reasons for the change is that it is estimated that up to 6 months will be saved in teaching time by the introduction of decimal money. For children like these, it is easier to think in the new money.
Can anybody tell me how many new pennies we're going to have in £1? Gordon? 100, yes, 100 new pennies.
My mum doesn't like the 50 pence, but I do.
And I have to confess that I like the new 50 pence piece too. Big welcome to 2021, and very happy to announce we're continuing our discount promotion, 2% off everything at Coin Connection with code NEIL, N-E-I-L. The celebration by the Royal Mint of the 50th anniversary of the 1971 Decimal Day is led by this absolutely lovely brand new 50 pence piece featuring the design, the head design by Arnold Machin that was featured on all the stamps and coins in the first years of decimalisation. And this is the gold version. And the year started with this version. So this came out a few weeks ago with the launch of the commemorative gold coin set. Only 95 of these sets were minted, and the gold 50 pence from that set is the only gold 50 pence that actually has the young portrait on it as well. So these are going to be pretty rare beasts, pretty rare coins. There were also a small number of silver-proof sets available. I think the mint price for these was around about £650, and the silver versions of the coins in that set also have the Arnold Machin portrait. If you can't run to the £600, there are BU versions in Cupro Nickel. There's a whole variety of different versions that were in special sets that feature this portrait at prices from just a few pounds up to the many thousands of pounds the gold set would have taken to secure. Shortly after the annual set was released, then the Royal Mint released this one. So this is a coin that is a gold 50 pence piece. It's not quite the same as the one in the annual year set, as you'll see in a minute. The mintage for this particular edition is around about 450 coins. There may be a few more in the limited mintage, but in this particular presentation, around 450 coins. So this is the celebration of Decimal Day, gold 50 pence piece, and we're going to have a look at this coin in just a moment. If you're old enough to remember Decimal Day, what is it that you remember? All I remember was that all those little copper coins that were worn out, all the old Victorian pennies that were all so rubbed down you couldn't even see the date, all disappeared overnight, and they were replaced by these nice new shiny coins. And all the grown-ups were all saying that their money had disappeared, and that everything was much more expensive in the shops. Everybody had taken the opportunity to round up to the next penny or halfpenny, and they didn't really like the whole thing at all. Never mind having to actually buy things in kilos and grams for the first time. But what have the Royal Mint done? So they've got this lovely little picture book, the same as they usually have in the commemoratives, which traces the whole grand opening of the mint, the Lantrasant mint, the first decimal coins. I probably haven't pronounced that correctly, so if you're Welsh, you'll probably pull me up on that, but I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. So Decimal Day, and I think a really nice design. They've taken all of the different pre-decimal coins and they've put them onto a commemorative coin. I think it's been done pretty well. It's one of the nicer designs that the Royal Mint have come up with, and I think one that they can be proud of. Let's open the box and take the coin out and show you guys. So regular commemorative box. This one didn't come directly from the Royal Mint, so this isn't exactly how it would have come from the mint if you'd have bought one, but you can have a look here at the edition. Maximum coin mintage 474. It weighs 15.5 grams, which is just under half an ounce of gold, and got the new Royal Mint logo on. And if you buy it from the Royal Mint, it doesn't come with this cling film, but this was supplied by one of the dealers to get a coin pretty quickly for you guys to see, and it's nicely protected here in cling film, which is actually a pretty good idea because capsules do come undone in the post sometimes. So so this isn't forgive the presentation, but this isn't maybe how you would receive yours. But it's not a bad idea. Let's have a look at the coin and take a look at what we've got in terms of the design. So what you've got is 1971 Decimal Day right in the middle, and then you've got all the different patterns that were on the last coins, the last pre-decimal coins, the shilling. You've got Britannia's head poking out there over something. You've got the farthing, which was on the 1950s farthing, which is a pretty iconic kind of design. And then on this side, what's missing is the Arnold Machin portrait. This one is the current 2020-2021 Jodie Clark portrait. Very nice portrait, not quite the same as the one that was on the special design. But there are a number of these coins, a number of variations, and I'll explain a little bit about the variations in a minute, because some people may very well be wanting to put together a set of these coins, and actually there can only be 95 possible sets because the mintage on the annual set is so low. So, but a few people will probably want to put together graded sets of these and see how that goes. I've got here one of the coins from the annual year set in gold, and I'll show you that side by side to the Jodie Clark portrait one. You can see here it's exactly the same on the reverse. When you turn it over, you have Jodie Clark's portrait, and on this one, the Machin portrait. So, it may be that I'll see very few of these ever together. Those initial Machin portrait design coins are going to be probably pretty expensive shortly and well out of my price range, but it's kind of nice to see that whole retro look on a coin, and I think that was a really good idea for the mint to do for the 50th celebration. So all of these coins are going off to NGC for grading. They will all be conserved as well, even whether they need it or not. These kind of coins are normally put through NCS for conservation, and they're going to have a first releases label on as well, just for good measure, the blue label, which we like to put on to brand new coins, particularly high value coins. But wait, the celebration is not entirely over. Bang! There is another version coming out. This is a very intriguing version of the 50p piece. This one is also in gold, but this one is the Mint's first strike on the day 50p. So these will actually be struck on Decimal Day, February the 15th. They'll be struck by the Mint, and they have a slightly different design on them. The design itself is the same, but they've masked all of the areas which were frosted in the first two that you saw, so that you get this interesting enhanced relief. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing those coins come through. This one is going to have the Jodie Clark portrait. So the first one is the only one which will have the Mashin portrait in gold. And there is actually a fourth version as well, which they minted 200 of, which is the same as the one that I unboxed with the Jodie Clark portrait, but it's a pied fort version, so it's twice as much gold in it as well. So variety and innovation, something for everybody. And I very much hope that you'll add one of these celebration coins to your own collection.